In this section, we're going to go ahead and start creating the game's map. We're going to start off and discuss the game's map being created. We're then going to ensure to place 4 rooms for the player to walk into. After that, we're going to add some collisions and navigation blocks onto the placed tiles. Now let's go ahead and jump right in. This here represents the map we're going to create. When you first start the game, the player will be spawned into the bottom room here. They will not be able to leave that room until they can buy the doors on either side. Once the doors are bought, the player and the zombies will be able to move in any other room. To make the game more difficult, we'll add specific spots that the zombies can spawn in from all directions. We're also going to make sure to add specific collisions so that the player and the zombies can't walk through specific walls. We're also going to make sure that we add some navigation layers so that the zombies will be clever enough to locate exactly where the player is. Meaning, if they spawn in somewhere at the top and the right doors are still shut, they'll know exactly that they have to go to the left side to get to the player. Alright, let's get started creating the game's map. So I'm going to create a very basic one like I showed you before. You can always customize this however you'd like. Just make sure you have the correct components of it, meaning the navigation and then the collision so the player can't walk through, and of course the zombies know where to go. So to make this a little easier, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the in-game screen. I'm actually going to turn on the menu. And the reason I'm going to turn on the menu is because we want to make sure that the background kind of matches up. So what I'm going to do is add another node under main, not in the UI. Call it node 2D. I'm going to put it towards the top. We're going to call it BG for background. And then right click, add child node. We're going to add a tile map layer. We need to make sure it matches up, which if I remember, it was 64 by 64. So make sure you're selecting it. Give it a new tile set. Select it again. Set the tile size to 64 by 64. Then we're going to go ahead, go to tile set, locate our tile set in the art folder, Kenny top-down shooter. Under tile sheet, we're going to use the tile sheet underscore complete.png, drag and drop. Go ahead, hit no there. Let's go ahead now, and we're going to start off with just the grass. So select the grass one here, go to tile map, and I'm going to use the rectangle tool and just make sure it's the same size, which it is. Perfect. What I'm also going to do is go back and turn off the menu now. Now that we know it's the same size, that's great. Now we're going to go ahead and just make a big square around our screen. Something like that should work. It doesn't need to be perfect because our player is going to be locked in specific areas anyway. Just want to make sure that when the player goes to the left or the right, that they're not going to see this gray. Okay, so maybe a little bigger just in case, like that. All right. So now that we have our background, we need to make another one specific for the map. And we're actually going to put this in another node. So we're going to right click on main, add child node, node 2D, bring this on up. And I'm going to call this, we'll just call this game, okay? Or we could better yet call it game world. So everything in the game world is going to be in here, okay? So in the game world, we're going to go ahead now, and we're actually going to take a copy of that same tile map layer, Control D, drag and drop it in game world, okay? You can remove the 2 in there. Now one thing you have to remember to do, because it will start messing everything up, make sure on tile set you right click and make it unique, because if we change anything here, it's also going to change that other one. So make sure you set make unique. Now that we have this here, I'm going to actually remove the current tiles we have. So go ahead and remove that. Perfect. Now we can start creating the world. But before we do that, we actually have to go ahead and select the tiles we want to use. Now again, you can customize this however you want. But again, we want to make sure we have those navigation tiles and the collision tiles. So go to tile set. First we'll add in all the tiles we're going to use. Now I'm going to keep mine real simple. For the ground tiles, I'm only going to use 2. I'm going to use this one here for some stone ground, and then also a wood planks ground, which is this one. Now, like I said before, we need to add some navigation, and we got to do that up on the right here. Make sure you're selecting the same one, navigation, or actually, you know what? Select into it, and you'll see another navigation tab. All right, navigation layer, not just navigation, navigation layer. And now all you got to do is select add element. Then we're going to have navigation enabled. Now we just need to add it on the specific tiles, which we can do by going to paint, opening this up, scrolling down, you'll see this navigation layer 0, which matches up here. Select that, and just simply select the ones you want to give it to, such as this one here and this one here. You'll see it kind of like tint the color a little bit, which means it's active on it. Let's go back to select though. Let's add the other tiles we need. So we also need some wall tiles. I'm going to use this orange wall. I think it matches really well with these tiles on the ground. So let's go ahead and select all the ones we're going to use. We're probably going to use quite a bit of these. So make sure we go here. Might need to go to setup actually. Yep, setup, and then go ahead, select. I'm pretty sure it's like this whole row. So go ahead, just select the majority of these ones. I think we're also going to need corner ones, which are here, here, and here. I think that should be everything though. Yeah, all right. Now we just need to add that collision on here. So similar to what we just did with the navigation, we need to add collision. The collision will make it so the player and the zombies can't walk through these walls. So we need to go ahead to physics layers this time. That's going to add the collision shapes, add element, and just like we did, we're going to go back to the paint tab. Make sure we're on the paint one. We're still on navigation, so let's select it. See that new physics layer 0? Now we just select the ones we want to add it to, such as these ones here. Let's just add it to each one. Just like that. And if you want to adjust the boxes, you can. I'm going to keep it as default. As you can see, it's just surrounding the whole thing, which is perfect. But if you want to adjust it to be more specific to the tile, you can. That's up to you. But I think that looks great. All right. Let's go to tile map. Let's go ahead and turn off the eraser. Get ready here. Save what we got. Let's start with the first bottom room. All right. So this is the room that the player is going to spawn into. So let's go ahead and start with some floor. I'm going to go ahead and use this floor here. Make sure we're on tile map. Make sure you got rectangle enabled. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just make it about this size here. Again, it's always up to you how you want to do this. I'm going to actually maybe fill out the whole thing. All right. And then I'm going to have like a middle area the player has to avoid. So let's go ahead, add a couple wood blocks here. And then I'm going to make it pathway a bit. Let's say about, yeah, let's do like about there. And then about here, make sure it's about the same. About 3 blocks. Yep, 1, 2, that's 4. Is this 4 also? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, okay, that's fine. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and let's give it some room. Let's do the one that goes across, which should be this one here. Remember, these ones have the actual wall barrier on them. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a couple here and then down here as well. Let's go ahead, do the opposite direction here. And this way as well. And we're also going to have like a middle area, like I said before. So let's do that there. And then over here, go across. We'll add the corner ones in. And if you want to, I might just add a green here just to make it look a little bit more realistic. And now we just need to add the corners, so let's go ahead and add those. I'm going to do one like this. And then here, here, and then here. Nice. All right, and we're also going to give some corners to there, here, here, and then the top one. All right, looks good. Okay. So now we just need to make a little bit of room, though, specifically for where the zombies are going to enter. So what I'm going to do is use the eraser tool, and I'm going to remove a couple different spots. We're going to have an entry point here, here, and let's do some at the top as well. And then same kind of deal right over here. Okay, So eventually we'll make the actual barriers that we can repair, and then of course allow zombies to come through once broken. We also though need some room, of course, so where the doors are going to be. I'm going to put them in the top corners, like right here. So let's make sure to erase these spots. And again, we don't want to put any navigation down yet. And that's how we're going to prevent them from getting in when the door is still closed. So we're going to add that in once we unlock the door. And you'll see how we do that once we get into the script of it and of course the node itself for the doors, okay? But this is going to be the first room. Our player is going to spawn somewhere about here. But overall, I like the first room. It looks good. Let's move on to the second room. So let's go ahead and just carry on over here. Let's make it just kind of go up and down. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, locate the door. Let's use this one here. Let's go across like 1, 2, 3. Yep, we'll do 3 there. And then same thing up here. Actually, you know what, better yet, we'll just curve it upwards. Maybe we'll go out like 1 more. And we'll curve upwards this way, so we could do this here. And then just change this one out to here. And then of course this one here as well. And then we'll continue on. Let's go ahead, curve this one up. Let's move up to here. We'll go a little bit more. We'll go to there. And what I want to do also is kind of make it expand just a bit, just to give the player a little bit more room. And of course an area for them to buy a new gun if they want to. So we'll go ahead, add some room there. And then carry on. We'll move this up a bit. Not too big because I don't want the whole room to be too big. But overall I think that looks pretty good. If you wanted to expand this a little more, you can. I might just expand it 1 more over. We can use pointer tool here. Just highlight the whole thing and move it over. So I'm going to do that. Just move it over 1. And then just fill out the point right here with the rectangle tool again. And then again, we're going to go over here, close that out there. Make sure to give it the correct curves, like there and there. And then of course the actual tile floor, which we're going to use this one for the sides, okay? Just like that. And remember, we need to keep this space empty though, because of course we need to block that out, all right? So don't fill in that spot there. Now we can add some new entry points, just like we did below. I'm just going to add like 1 over here. And then let's add 1 over here. And then maybe like 1 more right here. Okay, nice. All right. So now we just need to do the same thing on the other side. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and use this one here. Let's paste it in. Make sure we don't have the eraser on. We'll do what it was. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we curve that up. And then what we're going to do is give that one a curve. There we go. We'll keep it moving. We're going to match it up pretty much the same as the other one. I'm just going to make sure it's the same across. There we go. And then we go out 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're using the right one. Set the curves for it. Then again, we'll go up just like we did before. Make sure it is set to the same, which I think it is. Yep. And we'll go ahead. We'll do the other side now. So we go 3 in. So let's do this one here. So let's see, it's 1, 2. So 1, 2. Make sure we curve it up. And then just simply use this one, going all the way, matching the current one. And then we just need to go across. So let's do the curves. And then the curves here as well. And just match it up. Nice. And again, we can fill out the floor. Make sure not to do the spot where the door is going to be. So I'm going to do all of these there. And then we need the entry points. So use the eraser tool. And we're going to do right here. Make sure that's the same. I think it is. Yep. And again, we'll do over here. Make sure it's the same. Nice. And then the last part right below, right here. Nice. Looks good. Now we can do the final area, the top area. We do need some doors going into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase these 2 spots here for the new door area. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to just start off with the floor this time just to be a little faster. I'm going to make the floor look like that. Make sure you got your eraser tool off. So let's go up a bit here. We'll go about there. And then I'm also going to expand this below towards the middle a bit. Let's see if that's the middle. Let's go, yeah, a bit downward. And maybe one more. Let's see if that's the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Nice. Now we just need to give it the walls, and I think actually we should give it another middle area just like this. So maybe let's go ahead and let's just put another green in the middle. Just something small. We might raise this up just a bit because I don't like the 2 blocks. So let's go ahead and just get this a little bit more room up there. We can start off with this middle spot. And I'm going to go ahead. Let's do that there. Just add all the corners up. Again, it's always up to you how you want to design this. I think this looks pretty good though. And then across. Nice. Now we just need to do the rest up here, over here, and the down one. Looks good. Nice. Now we just need to add the curves. Let's go ahead. One there. And this one, let's go there. There. Other way around here. Don't forget these sides as well. This will kind of just make it look a lot better. And let's see how that looks. Nice. I like it. Alright, now we just need the entry points for the zombies, so similar to what we did. I think a cool way we could do this is add, let's do 2 there, 2 here, and then just 2 at the top somewhere, like right here, and right here. Again, you can always customize this how you want, but I think this looks pretty good. Now, there is one more thing we need to add, and that is specific to basically the tiles of the zombie. So when we spawn a zombie in, let's say we're spawning a zombie right here. If you remember, we only have that navigation tile on these ones and these ones. So if they spawn in here, they're not going to know where to go. So a cool little trick we can do is use the same green tile here, give it some navigation, and put it just right behind. Now we know this is unique compared to the other one, so it's not really going to affect the actual background. So let's go ahead, back to our tile set. Let's go ahead and make sure we're selecting the navigation. Select the grass, back to tile map, and now go ahead and select this here. Now it's going to be hard to see this because it's blending in already. So what I like to do is just select the tile map layer, scroll on down on the right on the inspector, locate the visibility, and just simply change the modulate color for now, just something a little darker so we can see where we're putting these, okay? So we're here. We're going to add a couple going backward where the spawn points are going to be, somewhat a little far. So let's go ahead and add that for each area. Doesn't need to be perfect here because these are not going to be visible. It's just going to help with the navigation of the zombies, okay? So we'll add some there, here, here, here. Oops, make sure we add a good length because they might build up over time. And of course there as well. Here. And then these 2 at the top. I might not go all the way to the end, just somewhere like there. Let's zoom out and just verify we got all of them. We got the ones here, here, and there. Now, if we go ahead, back to visibility of it, and then change it back to normal, we're no longer going to see those, and it will blend really well within the background. But overall, it looks great. All right, let's close out the tile map here. Let's go ahead and zoom in a bit. Close up everything we got here and here. Let's save what we got. Close out your art folder, and we're looking good.